Good morning, everybody. This is Barry Cowan from Margate, Florida, welcoming all of you to this morning's Deerfield Beach Computer Club Zoom meeting. It is Friday, January 19th, 2024. I'm happy to hope that everybody had a wonderful holiday season. It certainly went by really fast. And you may be wondering, I originally had this meeting scheduled for the 12th of January, but when I found out that Jerry was not available, he had a schedule conflict, I moved it to the 19th. The second reason is because the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas was from the 9th to the 12th. That would have been the last day. And also the newsletter for the reporter, the deadline was the 15th. So I really had to back up and figure out what to do. And fortunately, everybody cooperated with me and we moved it to the 19th. So I'd like each panelist who is a expert to please introduce themselves. Jerry, tell us something about you, please.
All righty. I'm in Mesa, Arizona, and I've spoken to you guys before, so it's always a pleasure to see you again. I was in the Air Force. I was a computer engineer in the Air Force for many years, taught community college and did all those sorts of things. Now we don't use the term snowbird anymore. I'm a winter visitor. So I spent half my life in Arizona and half my life in Iowa, where they now have 16 inches of snow on the ground and 18 below zero. So my 60 degrees here feels just fine. So anyway, I mostly do Apple presentations, as I've done to your group before. If you've got questions, I'll make every attempt I can to answer them. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Great. I'm glad you are. Don is our expert in assistive technology. Tell us something about your background.
Well, I got to the assistive tech thing by when I was working on my doctorate, the PC was born, and I was looking at all the stuff that thing did, and I said, this might be a really good tool for people with disabilities. So I got on that bandwagon and had no idea where that journey would go, but it's been amazing. I taught that at University of Florida for 20 years, and then they bought me at FAU, and I taught it there for another decade. And now I've just kind of been going around the country helping them set up their labs and stuff in AT. So that's how I got here. So
Can you move your mic a little bit away because we're getting blowback?
Okay, let me
Okay,
stick it up
you.
my nose here and see if that
Yeah.
helps. All right, here we go. Is that a little bit better?
We still hear you breathing,
Well, I'm not going to stop that.
No. Okay.
All right, let's
That's
try
great.
that. Let's see if that's better.
That is much better. Thank you.
Okay, all right, good, good. So anyway, that's how I got there, and I've built a couple of the labs, and the kitchen at FAU is all accessible, and working with all that accessibility stuff, particularly in building, is how I got into the architecture thing, which is why I went back to school, because I think I've figured out a way to make a passively solar cooled house. All the pieces work. So I'm kind of excited, and that's what I'm doing.
Great.
I live in a passive solar cool house.
You do? And what method does it use? Evaporation or geothermal?
No,
or...
we have one wall which is all adobe brick, and in front of it is a glassed in room, and on the other side of it is the rest of our house.
Yeah,
and
we have wall or something like that. It's called, I think.
The Trembe wall is usually a narrower space between the glass and the wall. We have a full room.
Wow.
But we also have all brick floors. We had worked with the Solar Energy Association many years ago when we designed it. And so a lot of it has to do with just the fact of hot air rising to the top of the house and some fans bringing it down, just plain circular fans stuff.
Exactly. Same idea I'm using, except I'm using a couple other of these. I'm dealing with a cascading waterfall inside of it also. Also the tapping into the aquifer here, which is 56 degrees constantly.
Mm.
to be able to cool the air. And also I'm
In
looking
my
at,
case, the floor stays at the same temperature year round.
yeah, that's great. So some of the geothermal stuff. So you've
Okay,
got some
guys,
storage area. Yeah, we
let
do
me
this
interrupt
wrong.
1 second.
Sorry. Yeah, you pushed
Steve?
my button. My bad.
Steve Costello, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah,
Steve?
what's up?
Tell us about you, because I'm going to use you as a panel expert until Bob arrives. So tell us something about yourself, please.
Well, I know you guys are mostly Apple. I'm mostly Windows and Android.
Mhm. Okay, well, let's go ahead.
I've run a couple of computer user groups. I've been involved with some writing projects. And I'm retired and don't do a whole heck of a lot anymore.
Well, he was for a long time the president of the Boca Raton Computer Society, right?
Correct.
And what was the
Correct.
building you used to meet in there? I forget the name of it.
That was the South County Civic Center up in Delray.
Well, didn't you meet? Oh, that's right. It was the Central. And then you were
Power line.
right. And then you were the president of the BCPA, right? Broward County Computer.
Correct. Yeah. That
Was
was
that-
before the local group.
And that was John Knox Village, was it not?
Yeah, we met there a few times.
Boy, my memory is pretty good. And I don't need to take Prevagen and Ariba. Thank you very much.
That's a long time ago.
That's right. I've been with the club since 1994.
Yeah.
When I've been the vice president. I've been everything else. I mean, I don't know what else to be. Right now I'm carrying the ball as president. I'm carrying the ball as acting treasurer, and I'm carrying the ball anywhere. So I mean, it's just it's gotten to be like a daily bread for me, and this is my energy. You know, you guys are my energy that keeps me going.
And we
And
appreciate it.
we're trying to stay with the 1 month, one class per month regimen, because it seems to be 2 is too much for me right now. Frankly, I turned
understand.
80, and things are really, fortunately my mind is still there.
What
And
ahead of you, Barry? I celebrated mine last week.
well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. 81.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. So, Irving,
Yes.
do you have any questions? I'm going to go around and ask. Do you have any question for our panel on Apple or anything like that, or Android, or?
You bet.
Go ahead.
I am
Shoot.
watching and listening on my Apple A10, A11, I should say.
Mhm.
And all I can get is the photograph, the picture of you. I can see myself. I can't see the rest of the participants. I don't see the controls for muting or unmuting or video and unvideoing.
Wow.
And I was wondering, could he straighten me out?
What happens if you touch your screen?
I'll touch it.
Did you come up with any controls?
Okay. Apparently it said tap to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke, and then I can tap done speaking.
Okay.
Okay, so I see what's happened. Your microphone is unmuted. Your video is stopped. Done
Here's
speaking.
Bob.
Okay, you can turn your video back on now. Hi, Bob.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Sorry I am late.
Hey, that's okay. Better late than never, friend. I've just made you a co-host.
Okay.
Bob, tell everyone about yourself, please, before we begin.
Why, you people don't know me by now?
Well,
New format.
we need some time filler. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, in the last 3 years, you've only seen me here on the tube.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, you saw me every single year in person. And since in April, Avast ended the sponsorship, travel now is not something that's going to be done anymore. So you're from now on going to see me strictly this way.
Oh,
I'm
And it's
considered a
cold
cyber-
where it's
Yeah.
cold where you are.
Right now it's 24. Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
perfect for this year.
Yep.
24 and 2024.
Where
are
you? I'm a blogger. Some circles known as a cybersecurity expert. I've been part of the Avast customer support forum since 2004. And I'm still active there, even though they don't have anything to do with cybersecurity presentations that I used to do for them. But I'm still active on their support forum. I still use their product. I still think it's a product worth using.
And you are in Los Lunas, New Mexico.
I'm in Las Lunas, New Mexico.
Okay, now, also, you're an expert in Windows and Android. Correct?
Windows, Android. The only thing I'm not an expert in is Mac. I don't have a phone and I don't have a Mac operating system. So
I don't have a Mac either, so, but I've got iPads, I've got, and I've got my iPhone, which, by the way, still works. I mean, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, folks. Why
That's
go out
right.
and spend thousands of dollars on things when something's already working and may need just an upgrade? You know, a battery can be replaced in some cases, right?
as long as you're still getting the security updates, there's no reason to change.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because when you downsize to something, or when you downsize to, or go up to something, you want to make sure you get the security updates also to work.
Correct.
Okay, so Bob, you have let me keep going on here, and if anybody has any questions about Apple first, who had one that we didn't finish? Was it
Irv,
Irving, he
Irv?
lost his, although, yeah.
Yeah, we
he
lost
lost
him.
video and sound apparently.
Okay, who has a question for our experts?
Well, now, while he's coming back, let me just say this, Bob talked on it a little bit.
Yeah,
Apple comes out with a new iPhone every year. Look at those upgrades. Sometimes they're so insignificant, it is not worth updating. And what they're doing now, when they come out with a new system like iOS 17, there are certain features that will only work on like the iPhone 15 Pro Max or whatever in the world they call it. Won't work on the iPhone 15. So you want to be careful when you upgrade. Make sure you're getting what you're paying for. Otherwise, keep what you've got. You know, a couple of changes in the camera lens doesn't justify a $1,000 upgrade to a new phone. So be careful of that. So any Apple questions I can help with? Let me first start this. I'm going to talk about a few things that are new with Apple. Number one, on the 23rd, they're coming out with the new operating system 17.3. Not a lot of massive changes. They're coming up with a stolen device protection, which simply means if somebody steals your phone, they can't change settings or anything without having the biometric or the facial recognition. So that's one change. You can get AirPlay in certain hotels, and they've improved the crash detection. I got new teeth, so I have a little bit of a list, but they've improved crash detection a little bit. So that's all that's new with the iOS 17.3. So it's nothing to get excited about. Apple right now is very excited about their Vision Pro. Barry talked about that a little bit. It's like a $3,500 device you can strap on your head. If you want to keep it on your head, you need to spend $200 for an additional head strap type thing. If you want to keep outside light from seeping in, you have to pay another $30 for a foam insert to go around it. So by the time you're done and you get some of the options, you're going to be about $4,000. And you can look like a Martian with this big face thing on.
Yeah.
But Apple's very excited about it. One of the other things to be cautious of with that device is, for example, Netflix will not work with it. If you want Netflix, they're coming out with their own version just for the Vision Pro. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to be asking a subscription fee for that. So those of you who have the extra $4,000, go for it. As for me, I'll still watch my television and look at my iPad. So. And the other thing is, and this has been in the news quite a bit, the blood oxygen feature of the iPhone. Massimo is filed a lawsuit. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. Right now, the status is that Apple is taking the blood oxygen off of the iWatch Ultra and the Apple Watch Ultra and the Apple Watch 9. They've had the software to disable that since last October, so they knew it was coming. So if you go to buy a 9 or an Ultra, a new Ultra, you won't get blood ox. Right now, those of us who have the older watches, they're kind of leaving us alone and letting us keep our blood ox. Even though the Massimo CEO says Apple's blood oxygen isn't that accurate.
None of them are.
Huh?
None of them are. Doesn't
No,
matter
no.
whether it's Apple or any of the others.
Exactly. And exactly. And Massimo, their main business is supplying blood oxygen devices to hospitals and so forth. It's like the EKG on the Apple Watch. It's a single channel EKG or ECG. It does work. I've used it myself when I had some heart problems last summer, and I sent it to the doctor off of my iPhone, and it worked well. But the doctor had me come in because he does I'm not a nurse or anything, he does like a 10-channel EKG or something that's much more, but the Apple warned me that I've got a little issue, I need to get it taken care of. So again, it's, be careful what you buy and what you're looking for, but that's about the main things that are new with Apple.
I want to hit you up on your update thing here at this point, because I'm in the point where my vision's going so bad at this point. I've got an SE and it isn't, I can't see it anymore. I need to upgrade to the larger phone so that I can see it, but I can't afford that kind of money.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
what, is there a way that I can get an earlier version, or is there, what's the cheapest way I can go about getting a larger screen Apple phone and still be able to?
Well, my question to you, Don, would be, do you really want an Apple phone, or do you want an iPad, and keep your Apple phone and iPad connected so you can use your iPad for telephone calls or whatever you want?
Yeah, well, I don't have an Apple iPad, so that's the other part. I did like the features that were on the iPhone when I first got it, because I was tracking some of my stray kids, etc. But I got to like the Apple a lot with some of the integrated stuff with the watch and my hearing aids, etc., etc.
Well, that integration will pass to your iPad as well. So when you get a telephone call, you can answer it on your iPad.
I don't have an iPad.
I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. You're asking me for a solution.
Oh, yeah. Please. I'm sorry.
Pick up a $300 iPad, and I think a lot of your problems will disappear.
Okay.
Because you can hook the iPhone to the iPad, so you can answer the phone, you can make phone calls, and you've got that larger screen to look at.
Okay.
And for a couple of extra bucks, you can get an iPad with phone chip in it. So you can actually use, it's available.
Well, you're talking about the cellular, Bob.
Yeah, correct.
Right. You can get an iPad that will connect to your Wi-Fi and so forth, or you can get an iPad that has a cellular connection. Usually it costs you about $10 a month through your carrier extra.
Okay.
I have a cellular.
He can go to an Apple store and get an iPhone for like an iPhone 13. A 13 will be much bigger than an SE.
Okay. And they go for about
Probably 6 or 7.
Okay. All right.
I mean, they're
That's
not
closer,
cheap, but they're not that
better
much.
than 12, 14.
Right.
Thank you.
But if you look at the iPads now, they're selling for $350. That's still a better option for you.
Yes, sir.
And it's bigger.
And it's bigger, much
I
larger.
like bigger.
Yeah.
But how many people walk around carrying an iPad?
I have my iPhone and my iPad connected basically. And so I do answer the phone a lot on my iPad. but it doesn't always doesn't always show up on the iPad. I don't know what makes it show up sometimes and what doesn't. Can you explain that at all?
Maybe
Is
if
it
your
a
focus
setting?
is turned on or off. Sometimes your focus is turned on personally and it kicks you out.
Focus.
Yeah,
It's working through Bluetooth, right? Correct? The
Yes.
connection is through Bluetooth. If you're too far away, you lose the connection.
You have to remember Bluetooth is only good for about 30 feet, 25 or 30 feet. And if you go beyond that, you lose the Bluetooth.
So most of the time when I'm in the condo, it should be okay.
Yeah, but
affirmative.
if you go out on a patio or something, you may be too far away.
Okay, I get it. And that's why in my house back in New Mexico, I have it less often connecting because then I'm often more than 30 feet away. Okay, that's
Or on the other side of that adobe wall.
well,
In
Most of the
Arizona, New
house-
Mexico, we're frequently outside on our patios and walking around, so.
Yep.
All except for Bob because he's cold. Phoenix is still warm, so.
now I'm inside glued to my iPad or my laptop most of the
Okay.
time in New Mexico.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, sir.
That's the explanation I needed. Thank you.
anything else?
Yeah, let me see, on the iPad or iPhone? Yeah,
Making
on my
it easy on-
iPhone, does anyone else have something rather than me, a question?
Well, does anybody plan to buy that new headset?
If I could afford it, that is ideal for the architectural stuff that I'm working with.
Mhm.
Write yourself a
It would
grant.
also, Don, it would probably also help your vision a little bit,
Yes.
but that's very expensive.
Oh, it's very expensive. I went down and played with it down at the, there is a vision store here in Fort Lauderdale, a lady that specializes in augmentative devices for people. She's got one of these so you can test it out. And I took copies of my program down there to be able to do the drawing with it, and it was way too good. So there wasn't the delay like there was with the other ones that I had. It was live.
Don, you mentioned to me earlier the week that you were monitoring the Consumer Electronics Show from Las Vegas, and there were
Yes.
some assistive technologies that came
Yeah.
out of it. Would you like to
Yeah.
mention that at
Let
all
me
to
just
everybody?
show I've got a couple little quick dog and ponies. I did kind of run through it a bit. Let me see if I can share where I went. Here we go.
You can share your screen if you'd
Yeah,
like
I'm
to.
trying to do that. All right. Now what?
Just click the green
we
share
go.
screen. There you go.
All right, this is these are some of the devices. I just made some list of some of the stuff that I was looking at here. Some of the stuff that they're doing something now. They're talking the integration of assistive technology and the design of stuff. What used to be called what are they calling now? The universal design, and now they're kicking that back into the curriculums. One of the other things they mentioned now, they do now have over-the-counter hearing aids that they're doing, so that they've got a way to do it online to adjust what you can hear and what you can't hear in those ranges. The other things, the products that they were putting, this one was kind of interesting. This is
Lipstick.
yeah, this is, well, this little device will hold lipstick and eyeliners and all of those small things in place while the ladies that are paraplegic or have tremors or whatever, they can put them on with this large stick that holds things in place, which I thought was kind of interesting. Most of these devices were in the Venetian. They had a whole area there for people with disabilities. This
There
is
was-
a new lock that they've got now, that all you have to do is like push against it or pull against it from the back, and it will lock and unlock for you without having to put in the codes and stuff. So an accessible kind of lock. This is a new chair that they've got called by the Dignity Company. This one will yeah, once you sit down in there and take care of your business, then it will wash you off and dry you out and make sure that's all of it, and then gently lift you out of the chair so you can either then transfer to start walking or use your wheelchair or whatever.
Wow, next thing it'll do, it'll tuck you in too.
Oh, it will. The other one that really I thought was interesting is for people with tremors, particularly with like Parkinson's disease. They've got a new rotary gyro glove. It's kind of a picture of it here. You can see it on the back here. And they fire this puppy up and it runs so fast. They're saying running faster than turbine engines. It's running so fast that it holds your hands stable enough that you can pick up a cup of coffee and drink it, or sign your name, or be able to write and things like that. So they've got that particular item I thought was really, really interesting. They were talking to several Parkinson's people who had put that puppy on, and they said, I cannot believe the difference. And then one of them forgot they didn't have it on and tried to pick up a coffee and spilled it all over the place, which was interesting.
Is there a brand name for that?
Gyro. It is called the Gyro Glove.
Is that GY?
GYRO?
Yes, I believe so.
GY.
Yes. That
Okay.
same company also makes a new substitute for guide dogs. It's a little mini robot with like a handle on the back, like you see with guide dogs. And you can either tell it where you want to go and it will drive. You hold on the back and it will go down the sidewalks or wherever and go to where you need to go and get you there.
Wow.
Or if you know where you're going, you can just hold on and walk with it, and it'll keep obstacles out of your way, keep you from bumping into posts and potholders and cracks and curbs and things like that on the sidewalk. So that's a new device that's out there also. That looked really interesting to me also. Anyway, that was a quick look at some of the augmentative devices that they've got. And I must admit they've gone beyond that, but some of those I thought were particularly interesting.
I also saw a pair of gloves for people who had strokes and stuff and had problems with their hands that aided with that, so they got their strength back.
Oh,
And that-
oh yeah, yeah. The augmentative, yeah, the strength type of thing. Yes, those were killer. All right, let me see if now I can get back to where we were, but those are some of the toys, excuse me, the tools that I saw.
Mhm. Okay, great.
And I got lost in there for a couple days. I would dream to go to that place, man. Dream.
Did they mention when these are available? Will be available?
Most of those are available now.
Oh, great.
The glove is not yet affordable, but it's out there. There are grants for it that'll get it down to an almost reasonable price, but the full-blown prices, don't ask.
I was gonna look into that for my sister. She has tremors, but she also has Alzheimer's and she's 87. So at this point, something really expensive like that just didn't make sense.
Well, yeah, that one is on. Look, you can do a search for assistive technology on the Consumer Electronics Show site, and it'll take you to those places that I just called up right there. That glove is on there. The company that makes it's on there. How to contact that company that makes it. The grants there are available to be able to pay for it for people who can't afford that sort of thing also. So that information is on their sites.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think I just put the link there. I think it's ces.tech. If
Okay.
that should work for you. And
You might want to do assistive tech. They make a distinction.
okay. Great. I got a couple of things I'd like to show, and I see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Hang on. This will take a little bit going. Oh, here we go. Share iPhone, iPad, share.
Oh.
And now let me see what I got here. Come on. Go, baby, go.
The Apple Store does list the 13 as $5.99 and up.
Thank you.
Okay, does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to try to find this video. I want you to watch this. Now, these come from Apple support. They're my friends because normally anybody else would get you with a copyright hit. But there were two interesting things that came up in Apple. As you can see the list there. Journal is the newest thing that came out with the latest update. Is that right, Jerry? Okay. Can you all see this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
journaling
see
came out with the
I see
last,
6 videos.
Okay.
journaling did come out with the last episode, with the last version. It's pretty good. There are better apps out there, but it does a good job.
Okay, I'm going to show you
Used
that.
it
Let's
for-
let's take a look
Thank
at
you.
this. Hang on, please. Okay, we're going to see if I can get this to come up.
Oops.
Nope. Don't tell me that.
Okay.
I don't like that.
do you
Sometimes,
have to have the newest iPad or iPhone to get the journal?
I have a 13 and it's on mine, but I haven't used it yet.
I think it'll work on anything above the iPhone 12 and above.
okay. Well, anyway, if you go to Apple support, you'll see two videos there. One is how to use the new mental health features on the iPhone, and the other is how to use the journal. Apparently, it's blocking me on something here, which I
NDA.
don't like. But okay.
The one thing I'll mention about the journal is you will be prompted as you go through the day. Let's say you went to a particular website or looked at certain photographs. It will prompt you to make a journal entry at the end of the day. It kind of follows you through your day.
It's kind of cool.
Okay, anybody
How do
else?
you use Journal? How do you use it?
I don't want people to know what I do every day.
It's a,
But I can tell you that 4 of the 5 days I'm on the golf course, so.
I don't want to do. I don't
So
wanna-
other people can see your journal?
No, you can, but it's on your device so other people could see it then. You could share it as well, so, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna try,
noticed the icon. I didn't know what to do with it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna try
it's-
something
It's
else.
like a daily diary, basically. And I just finished writing a book about my life I'll tell you guys about this. It's kind of interesting. There's a company out there called Storyworth on the internet. You pay them $100 a year, $100 for a 1-year subscription. And every week they send you a question. What were your grandparents like? What was your first big trip? Why did you go in the military? Anyway, at the end of the year, they take all your answers, compile them in a hardcover book and send it to you. Those of us who are in this age group,
wherever that
I
is.
wish my parents had done that so I knew more about their history. So just it's called Storyworth. I just throw that, it's got nothing to do with computers. It's got to do with passing on your legacy to your children and your grandchildren.
Words or works?
Words, STORYWORTH.
Is it one word?
Story worth.
One word, yeah.
Okay,
And I had trouble writing the first story or two. And then I started imagining I've got 2 great granddaughters and one was sitting on each lap and I put my arm around them through my mind. And all of a sudden the words just flowed and I was really able to type some nice stories.
oh, that's great.
Cool. That's
And
great.
what I did at Christmas time, I bought 3 extra copies. So I gave one to each great grandchild and one to my granddaughter. So just something to throw out there, something for people our age group to think about. Nothing to do with computers. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, I just want to let you know I finally figured out what to do. And thank you very much for setting me on the road.
What was it that he told you to do and what did you do?
He told me to press the screen. And once I pressed the screen, then I started, moving around back and forth. I realized how it works now. And so I can see you and I think you can see me. I think you can hear me
Yep.
because Jerry said he couldn't see me. So anyway, now it's working. I saw Don's presentation, so I think I know how to work it now. Thank you so much.
Good. But here we thought you went off to the donut shop.
I
Yes, I
held
was
up,
interested in knowing how to put a picture on the Zoom screen. A
yeah,
photograph.
I was holding up this book when Jerry was talking, something
good.
that, just to show you the size of it, my daughter gave us. It's called My Life Story. And it's something where instead of getting the questions through the internet, it has all the questions for you to fill in and then I guess share it. But with what you're talking about, they can make several copies of books for you.
Right.
What was interesting to me, I've gotten books like this before, you know, things like my grandmother's life, my grandfather's life, but they've never had as detailed questions as this one has things. It not only asks where you live, it asks things like, I would describe my home life as, you know, tumultuous or happy or whatever, but all sorts of little questions about feelings and stuff. And
Yes.
does the program you were using ask for feelings about things too?
It can. When you get the question, if you don't like the question, you can go to other questions and there's a whole list you can choose from. And one of the things I enjoyed about Storyworth is it allowed me to also put in photographs or pictures of my old neighborhood and when I was a little kid. So it was interesting. There are other options, but I just think it's wonderful for me to be able to pass on my life story to my daughter, my granddaughter, my great grandkids. I think that's great.
Is that an app?
No, it's not. It's just, I was teasing my daughter. I said, you paid the $100, but I had to do all the work every week to write the story. No, it's just, it comes through the email, Barry, and you answer the question, you send it back by email, and at the end of the year, you can get the hardcover book, just as Marcia showed us.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was a book my daughter bought as a book itself.
Yeah, and my book even has my picture on the front cover.
Sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
Thinking of the Apple questions for you though, and things with family, somebody just told me about an app, I guess it is, where you can connect with family to share things like on your phone, or I guess my iPad, instead of just giving them a phone call to one individual person, it's called Family something, and
Big time.
Family Time, is it? Is that what
No,
you
it's
said?
called, let me get to it. It's just called Family Share, and I use it quite a bit for a number of different things. But if you go to your settings, and on the top left will be your name and so forth, you'll see a thing under there called Family. And if you click on that, you can decide what you want to share and so forth.
Huh. And is there something called Family Time, Bob? You were saying something there?
No, but it's pretty much across all of them. They all have all the different operating systems. It's not only on the iPhones, but also
Right.
for your Android and so on. They all have where you can designate, in your case, you said family, but you have to then determine who is part of this family or this group. Because it doesn't only have to be family. You could have a bunch of people that get together on a regular basis, but you can't travel all over the place. So it's almost like setting up a Zoom presentation with certain people in your group.
I have settings right now. Where is it? How do you find it?
You have what?
I have my phone on. I see settings.
Okay.
Where do I go to find family? Or what
Okay,
do I?
in settings on the left side, scroll all the way to the top, and you should see your name and your Apple information.
Yeah.
What is it? Apple ID Cloud Media Purchases.
That's it.
Okay, underneath that, you should see the word family.
Oh, family sharing.
Yes.
Oh, Now,
And
how,
then, as Bob said, now on Android, it might be called something slightly different, but they all have that capability.
Yep.
And it isn't only family, you can also share with friends and so forth. So if you have a coffee group, you can have them
Right.
sharing with them or whatever.
so if you set it up, what does it actually allow you to do? How do you do what you're talking about?
Oh, you can share photographs or subscriptions or whatever you want to share. And I'm sure Android does the same thing.
What's the difference between sending a picture to someone or doing family sharing? Am I missing something?
Well, the difference is they can log in anytime to the family and see that picture instead of opening an email or a text.
Everybody see that where I'm pointing to?
Yes.
There's family
Yes.
sharing there. I
Yeah.
click on it and it says set up.
Right.
And there it shows you share subscriptions and music, movie
Right.
and other media purchases with up to 5 people. Share current and future subscriptions, including iCloud Plus, Apple Music, and Apple TV Plus. Share purchases of apps, movies, TV shows, and books. And set up parental controls, screen time, content restrictions, and other controls for child accounts. And if you click continue, you will see invite others or create a child account. It's like it's isolating you from your main account so they can't get into your stuff. That's about right.
Yep.
I didn't see anything about sharing video calls or phone or pictures. I just saw extra things to share.
Well, there's a click there. If you go to invite others, you can use whatever is on your screen to do that. I'm not sure if that's an option or not. I haven't really checked it, but that's where the family sharing is.
So it's sort of
Now,
like a
the-
big Facebook?
Let's see.
Kind of, but you control who it's shared with.
Great.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
and your screen, depending on what model iPhone you have, your screen may look a little different than this. But yeah, that's the base gist of it, and I'm sure Android has basically the same thing.
Right.
When you talk
I-
of subscriptions, are you talking about paid subscriptions?
Yes, paid subscriptions or YouTube subscriptions, whatever it might be.
you can share a paid subscription then that way?
Up
Well,
to 5.
It'll share it under your name. You won't put in your own name.
Huh.
It may
Okay,
cost you, does it?
I'm also looking at the page for family where, I went to iCloud, and then I see the choice of family. I did before, just a minute. Family sharing,
That's
family
it.
sharing. And then right away it says condo, organizer. And then family checklist and subscriptions or purchase sharing or location sharing. If I want to share things like pictures, something like what someone said, a mini Facebook, but just with certain people. I'm not seeing how to do that readily here. Do I just go to family checklist?
Add others.
It's like what Judy was asking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to share pictures, you can click on share with family, and what you're going to actually do is share your iCloud account so they can look at your photos on iCloud.
Oh,
Well, I've
And then
done
You
that.
don't know, you have the ability, when you plug in your iPhone at nighttime, you have the ability to automatically back that up to iCloud every night, so you have a daily backup.
Yep.
It's okay, so when you go to share, you can share that iCloud account and people can see all of your photographs there.
Well, what my cousin was showing me was, she was in constant touch with her grandkids up in North Carolina, and every time they put something new on, it automatically signaled her that something new was coming on for her to look at it.
Yeah.
But she didn't know how to set that up.
Oh, okay. Well, it's done through family sharing.
Okay, so if I just put someone on there in the family, if I list someone there and then on the family checklist, it doesn't offer things like pictures and such. It just says family checklist, add family to emergency, share location, add recovery, add legacy. Or
And that's
share
also-
iCloud. The last
Yeah.
one, maybe share iCloud Plus with family. Give your
iCloud
family
Plus.
access to cloud storage, private relay, hide my email, and other premium features at no extra charge. That's if
Correct.
you're paying for iCloud Plus. Which I
Well,
may be.
you get 5 GB for free with Apple.
Yeah.
If you run out of room, as I have, now I'm paying $1 a month. and
Yeah,
I'm getting 50 gigabytes.
that's
storage.
right. It's 99 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
think I am
bought
doing
a little
that.
Apple. I bought a little Apple gift card for $25. Put it in my name. So now instead of them putting on my credit card, they just take it off their gift card.
Right.
For $1 a month, you can't go wrong.
No.
I'm sure Android has something similar. I don't even know how to spell Android, so I'm just assuming.
Hey,
I put a
Bob.
couple of links in the chat for you.
Hey, Bob, you got anything to say about cybersecurity? Anything that we should all know? I see you posted something on your blog or whatever else. Bob's got about 1 million ways to reach him, I'm telling you.
Hold on a second. Let me see what I can whip up.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. And then he also belongs to Tech for Senior, which I was going to tell you about a little bit. If you're not aware of it, you should definitely be into that. He's going to share a screen with something.
Here are 9 tips to safely browse the internet. Number 1, use a safe browser. Choosing a safe and secure browser is the first step to staying safe online. Reputable browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge come equipped with built-in security features designed to protect against malicious threats. Also, they regularly receive security updates that fix known vulnerabilities. The Avast Secure Browser is designed to keep you safe when you bank and shop by isolating your browsing experience. Bank Mode is available from within the secure browser, which features a virtual desktop that acts as a clean, safe PC within your real PC. It protects against the injection of malicious scripts, keystroke logging, and screenshot attempts by third-party apps. If you're currently using a less reliable browser, the first step to strengthen your online security must be to switch to a more reliable one. Number 2, avoid clicking on search ads. Avoid clicking on search ads when visiting official sites of banks, social networks, and other sensitive platforms. Scammers often bypass Google's ad filtering process to run these ads, making users think they're from the brand itself. The links embedded in these ads lead users to malicious websites that look identical to official sites and steal their personal information. To stay safe, always scroll past the search ads and visit the official website listed after them in the search results. Do not click on the ads. Number 3, watch out for allow notifications pop-ups. When you visit websites, you might see pop-ups asking for permission to send notifications. Granting this permission to a suspicious website allows scammers to send you bothersome and potentially harmful browser notifications. They are controlled by the scammers operating these malicious websites. Even an unintentional click on these notifications is a risk and could lead to your device being compromised. Hence, when faced with such pop-ups on a website, block them altogether. If you've previously granted permission to such a website, make sure you revoke access from your browser settings. Number 4, skip saving sensitive data. Don't save crucial details like credit card numbers and important passwords on your browser. Also, avoid storing sensitive data such as social security numbers, PINs, and private addresses. Saving such information in your browser may be convenient, but it can pose security risks if someone gets access to it or your browser gets hijacked. Using password managers or other data management extensions can be helpful, but they are not foolproof. So consider saving most sensitive data offline, such as a physical notebook to prevent prying eyes from accessing it. Number 5, scan the links before you download. Always use official sources when downloading files. That way you can protect your device from malware associated with third-party sites. In cases where unofficial sources are unavoidable, scan the link with tools like VirusTotal as an extra precaution first. VirusTotal checks the link for possible viruses that can help you determine if it is safe to download. To scan the link with VirusTotal, copy the downloaded link, visit the tool's official website, select the URL tab, and paste the link in the search box. Press enter and the tool will scan the link for you. Number 6, expand the links before you visit them. The online landscape is saturated with shortened URLs. These links lack transparency, concealing information about the file content, source origin, and destination. Therefore, before clicking, use a link expanding tool, such as expandurl.net or unshorten.it, to unveil the full URL. Once you have the full URL, you can analyze the source it's pointing to before you click it. Refrain from clicking on links leading to suspicious sources, or if the expanded link appears to be a phishing link. Number 7, avoid websites that spam you with ads. Be cautious of websites that flood your screen with too many advertisements. These sites often embed malicious links in their image, text, and other content, making them potentially risky for users who might accidentally click on them. When clicking on them, they can result in dire consequences, such as browser hijacking, device hacking, and exposure to malware. For these reasons, you should close spammy websites without delay to protect yourself from harm. Also, avoid visiting such websites in the future. Number 8, private browsing has a purpose. Private browsing prevents your browsing history, cookies, and other site data from being saved in the browser. This means that sensitive information, such as login credentials and financial details, won't be retained after your browsing session ends. This acts as an extra layer of protection that ensures your personal data remains confidential and secure. You should use the In Private window in Edge and Incognito mode in Chrome when accessing bank accounts, cloud storage, or other sensitive or critical websites, especially if you don't own the device you're using. Don't forget that the Avast Secure Browser has a special banking mode designed to keep you safe and secure when visiting financial websites. Number 9, update your browser regularly. Cybercriminals often target outdated browsers with known vulnerabilities. Browsers regularly release updates that guard against known security flaws, prevent malicious exploits, and improve browsing safety. However, you can only benefit from these updates if you install them on time. So make sure to update your browser regularly regardless of the browser you use. My thanks to Shan Abdul for his article in How to Geek and the inspiration of this video. You'll find his article at the link listed. Stay safe, stay secure while browsing online, and share these tips with your friends and family to ensure everyone stays safe, and make sure that you're running updated antivirus software like Avast One. I'll see you.
Hey, that's great, Bob. Thank you very much. That was very informative as usual. And anyone have any questions on security that you would like to ask Bob? We're going to be shutting down the meeting shortly.
I'll
Well,
say,
there are so many scams that I've seen recently where they're offering $2 a year subscriptions to Netflix, Stars, and so many other streaming services, and you know it can't be real. So I just forward those messages to phishing.stars.com and let them figure it out.
The old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, there's so
how
many.
safe is a duck?
What's that?
How safe is duck?
Stuck.
Duck.gov.
Oh, duck.
That's the new browser they've been advertising big time. That's not supposed to let any of your ads follow you from site to site. It's being initially duck.gov used to be out there, which I thought was governmental, but now it's duck.go.
Yes, duck.
How safe is that browser is the question.
It's
No data.
it's supposed to be pretty safe, but you know, pretty
That's why I was
safe.
asking the pro.
There's no 100%.
Yeah, well,
None.
I
How
just
about
didn't know what the rumors were.
Not that many years ago, DuckDuckGo, which was deemed as the safest search engine,
Yep.
got caught sharing users' information.
How rude.
So now they have a very secure browser until money's
they start
tight,
sharing.
and who knows, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
So
that's why I was asking. They've been promoting it really big in this
do you
part of the
trust
neighborhood.
the person? Do you trust the person that you don't know who says everything's secure? Or do you trust the person who tells you in advance, we're going to share certain things?
Yeah.
And, you know, in the beginning, hey, this information is going to get shared. So,
Yeah. So act behave accordingly.
Yep.
Got it.
now
Okay.
the AI is a big thing. No matter where you go, AI, and you've got Bard, you've got Copilot, you've got all these things coming up.
You now have
And,
Copilot Pro.
Microsoft, right?
Yep.
Right. Hey, let
And
me throw something out here to the general group. If you're looking for a VPN, I know how seniors get very frugal with their money. Don't sign up for these free VPNs because they do log all of your actions and they do sell those actions to third parties.
They leak.
If you get a VPN, part of the security would be get a VPN service that does not log your activity. I
Yeah.
can't say that strong enough. Find
I
one.
don't know.
Yeah, I've got IPVanish and I pay for it.
I've got Ivacy and I pay for it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was
I've
that?
got Wytopia and I pay for it.
What was that? What the Microsoft thing you just said, that Pilot or Copilot Pro that you were just
Yeah.
talking about? What's it called?
Copilot Pro,
Thank you.
$20 a month.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful with this AI. I mean, to say that something is fake as
I use it
images.
I use it virtually daily,
Mhm.
but I also caution, don't let it become the final product. You use it as a tool and then you screen its results because it can lie.
How do you use it daily?
In lots of things, analyzing things, giving you information, getting information. asking it to rewrite something or compose something. It can create images from text. It can create music from text. It can
And
take text that you don't understand and rewrite it for you in simple layman's terms.
Now that's positive things. What about negative things that AI can do, like fakes,
Well, sure.
background fake images, all kinds of things? Celebrities are really up at arms about it. You know,
Well-
and the writers' strike and everything else was up against AI, the settlement
Yeah,
with the movies and the television.
And the writers.
Right.
The big thing that kind of made the impression to me is, yeah, you've got the entire spectrum of what you've got relative to AI, but it's like what my doctor said to me the other day. He said, you know, I've got a whole lifetime of experience that I've had with all of my patients. And I know when someone gives me these parts of what they feel like, I can only respond to my data that I have in my life. But if I've got that same information from 100,000 different physicians who have gone through exactly the same thing to be able to make a diagnosis over 1,000,000 times more data than I've got, I'll take it.
Yep,
Okay.
correct.
Folks,
So
it's,
what site do you go to use the AI?
Sorry?
And Bob,
Yeah.
If you want Microsoft's, that's
Bing.
one end. If you want from Google, theirs is Bard, B-A-R-D.
you got Bing, right? Bing has.
You have Bing. Bing has AI built into it. You have Copilot, which is built into the anything within your system that you do. Copilot can assist you with it.
You have ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is correct.
Is it
They
number
also
5
they have
now? I
free
think.
and they have paid.
Just be careful. Just be careful. You know,
so I would go to ChatGPT if I wanted it on a Mac.
it'd be an
Yeah,
app.
it has nothing to do with the operating system because it's its own. It's information. It aids in creation. It aids in analyzing. It can write code. It can do a million different things. But as I said, it's an aid. It isn't something you say, okay,
Right.
here, you take care of my life. That's not how it works.
No.
But it can help make your life easier.
I would say caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. And that's a motto in anything that you pick up these days. Remember that, you know, the gift card scam that they had during the holidays. There were a ring of people who would go into the stores like Walgreens or CVS or whatever, go through all the gift cards and, you know, look and see what's scratched off or something on them and take a picture of it. And then use that to go back in and, you know, take a gift card that's hijacking it. And then when the person picks it up, all of a sudden it's drained down to zero. So you got to be very careful, as Ronald Reagan said, and I still believe it, trust but verify. Just because they say it's true doesn't mean it is. Folks, it's been a real pleasure today to
Yes,
have you
indeed.
here today. And I want to thank Bob Gastisha and Don Grossman, Steve Costello, everybody that's been here today,
And
Jerry
Jerry.
Brogan especially. We appreciate it. By the way, before we leave, I'd like, Jerry, would you tell us what your email is?
My
They can-
email is quite simple. It's JERRYROGAN@iCloud.com.
Okay.
Hey, I'd like to throw one other thing out. Has anybody ever heard of check washing?
Yes,
It's becoming quite a national
Mhm.
problem. If you
Mhm.
write a check to a contractor or somebody, they have a way, if it's in the wrong hands, of erasing that name and putting in their own name, and there's not a darn thing you can do about it.
Yep.
Very simple solution. If you're still writing checks, use a gel pen, a GEL pen that
Oh.
cannot be erased.
Correct.
So
Interesting.
it's nothing to do with computers, just a word of caution.
And Bob, how
Jerry-
can we reach you?
Jerry, we had it so bad, they stole the check out of the mailbox
Mhm.
and they used whiteout to white out
Yes.
the name of the payee.
Oh, really?
Wrote in their own, and the bank was the teller was so damn stupid, they actually cashed that check.
Yeah, well, there's
Wow.
no cure for stupidity, is there?
No, no, there is
No,
not. There's no
there isn't.
AI for stupidity.
Yep.
Hey,
No.
it's been a pleasure being with you guys again. I always enjoy your group. Thank you very much.
As do
Thanks
I,
for
sir.
attending, Jerry. We'll let you know when the next one is. I'm sure you'll be in, we're looking at
Okay.
February 16th,
Yes,
but
yeah.
I'll
Well,
let you
Barry,
know.
I'll answer your phone call as long as I'm not on the golf course.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jerry.
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Bob, tell us how we can reach you. Is it 31, Bob? at-
3160@gmail.com.
Yeah, you'll find that he just posted up the video that you saw with security, so you can watch that at any time, and
Yeah, if
we
you go to
encourage you
YouTube,
to.
if you go to YouTube and look for the @ symbol, Bob, and then just Bob 3160.
Thank you. And Don, you're Landon 42, is that right?
That's correct, at bellsouth.net.
Okay. Folks, it's been a real pleasure to have you all here today. We hope they'll have the next class back in, I think it'll be February 16th, sorry. That might be a good thing. It'll be a sort of a strange post-Valentine's Day thing. How many like this format, the question and answer?
I do.
You see, you get it.
Very good.
The whole idea of this is that you control the show. If we have a whole bunch of slide presentations, one thing that people tend to do is to read the slide. And this is something in my classroom that we used to do that I try to get away from, because it gives the impression to the audience that you don't know what you're doing. It's like giving somebody, telling you that I'm going to give this presentation on everything, and you tend to stick to the blackboard or something like that, or don't face your audience. It gives the impression, a bad impression on you.
Well, I think we had a nice smorgasbord of stuff today, and I like the interaction, and we can take it on red herrings anytime we want to. Very well done, Barry.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So thanks again for everything, and God bless. We'll see you next time. And
right.
let's
Bye-bye.
let's say
Thanks,
bye,
Barry.
Thank
everybody.
you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Barry,
you.
to put this together, and have a great weekend.
You guys too. Okay, bye-bye now.